that this took some time, and yeah, for your case it might be faster depending on the compute power of your computer. So in this case, it has been imported, but currently it seems as if we have nothing here, but we have something. So one way to know that is checking this tab, this dialog where you have your sync collection, checking your sync collection tabs, and we have it PCB word tutorial. So all you just have to do is to like scroll up your mouse to zoom in, or better still in Blender is full of, it's best when you use hotkeys, I mean shortcuts. So all you have to do is to press the tilde but key on your keypad, and that is going to generate this for you. You can go to view selected, so this pop up like go straight to what you have. So now from here you can see it's looking even worse than KiCad, but trust me, it's going to be more better without adding much or nothing. So this is it. So but basically for rendering, so one thing about KiCad Blender is that at this top we have different viewports, that is where you can quickly see what you are working on or design looks like, and without giving it any kind of additional effects, so that it's going to run on a very low compute power. So in rendering we have various viewports for that. We have wireframe, like we have this modeling solid, and we have material preview to see what colors and things have been assigned to, and we have render viewport. So let's go to this render viewport to see what we have. You can see it's currently bringing up something for us. It's showing us what this is going to look like when we render it. And looking at this top left, you can see the sample time is sampling value that is preset by default is 1024, and this currently at 5. So, and what I meant the other time by when you have when I showed you the image at first, is that I have videos of the images based on the number of samples that I did. So, and this depends on your computer. So if you have more compute power, it's faster, you can increase this, and this will give you best and better results. So but in this case, so I will show you this so that you see what this would look like when you render it. So let's go back to our solid viewport. Solid viewport. So, and there are some few basic rendering settings that we have to do. Come to render, and just like you can see, render engine. So the render engine that has been selected that I usually use is Circuit. So we also have EV, but I prefer to use this Circuit because it's going to create more realistic effects, but it also takes a lot of compute power also. So, and can select, if you have a GPU compute, can select GPU for that. And also, so what you saw the other time, the sample value, which was 1024, is where it is set, and in your case my site will reduce that if you don't have much compute power to very low level. And also this denoise, my site to select that also to create. Let me quickly show you what that means. So let's go to our render port. So I can see within a short time you're going to have at least something closer to what you've been expecting. So you can see, but when you have the noise unselected, let's see what effect that is going to be. See some kind of dotty pointy kind of thing. So trying to clear it up, but with the noise those things will be out of there. So it depends, we decide to select the noise or not, but I like the noise to be selected. Or yeah, let's go back to our solid viewport. So yeah, this section is for your viewport settings, that is going up here to the render viewport. So but for your main rendering where you are going to generate an image, so this where you have to do the settings, the configuration. So and currently the samples is defaulted to 4096, which is too high, and that's going to take a lot of, it's not too high. Now if you have the compute power to do so, you may decide to like increase it further. So this is going to give you perfect and best results, but for this purpose I'll just like to set it to 150, then denoise, and so yeah, you have to be concerned about other things, and we are done for for this. So what you have to do, another thing you have to be concerned more about when it comes to rendering is your camera and your light. So rendering is just basically how you set your light scene. So but for simplicity's sake, what we are going to be doing in this case is just to still make use of this single light source, and in case you mistakenly delete your light source, there's a way you can also like add another light source. So all you just have to do, come to add here, or you press shift A. So and the shift A, you see lights. So we have 10 kind of lights that you can select. You decide to select the sunset effect, like a point. The one we have initially was a point effect. You can see when I click that, it took me to the origin, but I would like to undo and go back to the effect I have initially. So in this case, let's move. You can see the distance of the light to your object is very far, so you are not going to see much effect. So all you have to do is remove this light source closer a bit to our object that we want to render. And how to do that in Blender? How to do that in Blender is by pressing G, like to grab, and then click down, press G and move your cursor, but I will not advise you to do that. So after pressing G, you can see here we have these lines represent our various axes. So and depending on where you want to move to, for instance, if I want to move to the Y axis, all I just have to do is to press Y. After pressing the G, I can move along the Y axis without going to any other region. So but in this case, or let's say if I want to move to X axis, just press G and X, can move along the X axis. But in this case, we want to move it downward, which is the Z axis. So what we have to do is press G and Z, then we come downward. Then you can see we are still quite far from it, but the height has reduced. So we need to move closer to it by pressing G and move along the X axis. So we are somehow close to it, and don't be too close. Press G again and press the Y. You can see we are somehow closer to it. So and I decide to set this based on the output that you have, and also our camera, looking at where our camera is. So yeah, one way to test if the camera is in the best position is by pressing 0 on your keypad, or you come to this place, you can see number 0 to toggle to camera view. So if you want to render, this is currently what we are going to have as an output, but we don't want that. We want to have our image to be viewed to fit this screen. So lock your camera, then zoom in. You can see we zoom in, and you have to move it down to this. So you don't have to press G. You want to move the whole screen, so just hold on shift, then your scroll cursor, then drag this, so and you can decide to zoom it further. And yeah, one way to rotate the environment Blender is by clicking down your scrolling button on your mouse and moving it around. So that is the way to rotate in Blender. So you can see we've set this to a particular position we want, and we decide to like set it further. So now let's quickly check if this is giving us what we like. That is by rendering it, quickly rendering it to see the output. So come to the top here and select the render and the render image. So you can render a lot of things, you can render animation, but in this case it's image. So yeah, in the coming video I'm still going to show some animations of how you could add some little effects and interesting things to your PCB. So yeah, this is going to take some time, but just want to see what this. So yeah, currently you can see this, so it's kind of coming out so well, and yeah, it's looking good. At the same time you could see the effect of the lights. It's kind of so shiny. I decided to like take it up a bit or adjust the intensity of the light. So I would like to close this and quickly close the render window. Another thing you could do is setting the background. So decide to set the background to any color you want. So I'll show you how to go around that quickly. So currently waiting for the windows to close. Yeah, okay, so we are back to our window. So one way to escape from this camera viewport is by clicking here back. So you can now see we are on our back to our window or environment where we can edit stuff. So yeah, let's quickly create a beautiful background. So one way to do that is go to add or press Shift A, then come to mesh, then plane. So here we have a plane generated for us. So and what we have to do is to make this plane, applying a material to it, like give it some material properties. So basically in this case it's just to give it a color property. So come to this bar here, to bar, then go to material, and you can then add material slots. I don't think we don't need that. Just come to click on new, then material. So you decide to name it your floor. Then I'm here to select color for it, so white. So I would advise you to make it not to be too shiny. So and I'll see what it looks like when lights falls on it. So this shows you how it's going to reflect based on what you selected. So and so yeah, we are good with that. And for the lightning, so you can come to this, click on the light, or go to where your light is, click on it and come to lights. So you can select whatever source of light you want, so point light, and you can reduce the power. You don't want it to be too shiny, and you can also set every other things, but I don't want to go too deep. So let's go back to our render. But before you do that, don't forget to press this 0 to share the camera view to see what it looks like. So let's zoom in a bit, and you can see our camera, it's currently cutting out the plane. So what I have to do is go back and go back. You can move this plane, click on the plane, then press G. So sorry, press G. Then click on this. Let's raise this a bit. G, then Z. I'll raise this a bit. Then on this, press G on the plane, and you can move it let's move it along the wire as this. This is what we did. Yeah. Okay, let's check it out again. Yeah, I see it's good. It's not still giving us what we wanted. So another thing we could do, can move the camera itself. Just click on the camera and move it up by pressing G, and yeah, we are moving along the Z-axis. So that's it. Let's see what it's like. So I see it's currently out of the scene, so we have to move our object back in there. Hold on the shift and click the center cursor to move it in here, and yeah, I think we are kind of good with this. So yeah, I'm currently zooming in and out by scrolling up and down. So let's go back to our render image and see what it looks like. So yeah, it's currently rendering, and this is coming out really well, and yeah, that's it. So by the end of this rendering, I'm going to be to have something similar. I'm going to show the results of this rendering. It's going to take some time, so to show the result of what this looks like after it's finished rendering. So thanks, and stay tuned.